I'm Albert from Summer Associate Hub, and welcome to Practice in Point 1, where we interview big law attorneys all about their practice in under 6 minutes, or also known as .1 billable hours. Tell us your name, your title, your practice area, and where you work.
So my name is Ben Huffman. I am a partner in the energy infrastructure and project finance team at Sheppard Mullin, and I'm actually a co-leader of the team.
Great. All right. So energy and infrastructure and finance, take us through a typical transaction or matter from beginning to end within that area.
Sure, and in less than point one, yeah. We tend to have giant transactions. They're really kind of fun in that way because we take projects through their full life cycle, and we do everything from sort of setting up the original groundwork where the project's going to live, how it's going to get plugged into the grid. And they tend to be renewable energy projects. And so when we go help people find panels and negotiate or wind turbines and negotiate the contracts around that, find somebody to sell the power to, negotiate the contracts around that, and then find the money to actually finance the building of the project. And that can come in the form of debt, that can come in the form of equity investments, and that can come in the form of monetization of tax credits, which is a sort of specialized area and kind of interesting combination of various types of transactions. And then at the end of the day, we can help sell the project when it's all set up and done and running, and they want to sell it and recycle capital and move on to the next one.
Fantastic. So you wake up, you go to work. What is your typical day like?
I tend to read the news early or kind of earlier in the morning on the train or whatnot, try to keep up with industry news, because a big part of the value we add is not just the legal skills, but actually knowing the industry really well and being able to marry those two things together. And then I usually have a bunch of email from the night before that I clear through. And then depends on the day. I tend to be on the phone a lot with the nature of my job. I just am talking with clients and advising and negotiating and all sorts of stuff all the time. Some days I have a little bit more clear air, and then I tend to use those to work on bigger projects, larger documents that we're trying to negotiate, or got big markups from the other side, and go through those. And we create issues lists or set up for the next set of phone calls to negotiate or whatnot.
Great. So what a lot of law students like to know is not only what the partners in the group do, but also what the associates do. So curious what the associates on your team do with all these transactions.
Yeah, it's a lot of variety, actually. It's part of the fun of it, is that because these are complex transactions with a lot of pieces to them, the associates work on a lot of those pieces and begin to learn how the projects work and how the legal sort of structure around all the projects work. And that can take the form, I mean, early on, of doing just some basic, the sort of closing checklist for the transaction that shows all of the things that everybody's supposed to put together and deliver when we bring all of these pieces together at the same time in kind of a relatively intense closing, wherever, we have 100 people in various places around the world coming together at the same time. That transaction checklist is really useful for helping somebody develop in this field and sort of get familiar with how all the pieces fit together.
My favorite question, out of all the stuff you've done, what is the coolest deal or matter that you've worked on?
So this is wonky, but we worked on the first published enforceable bounds transaction where one person who generated tax credits from a renewable energy project sold those tax credits to somebody else. And it was enabled under the Inflation Reduction Act, which was new legislation. We didn't even have all the guidance yet. Nobody knew exactly how it worked, but we sold almost $600 million of tax credits in a single deal. And it was the first one, and it was above the fold on the Wall Street Journal. And so it was pretty cool.
That's fantastic. Good for you. Congratulations. All right. So one of the most important things for law students is understanding why a certain attorney might have chosen that area. So I'm curious, especially as law students, think about what area they might want to go into. So I'm curious, why did you choose to go to energy and finance?
Yeah, sure. I had the opportunities, as most junior folks do, to try a bunch of
Yeah.
different things, and I settled on this, and kind of, it really spoke to me because you got to love the puzzle. It's a big puzzle, and you're trying to put all the puzzle pieces together, and it's not repetition. There's each situation is pretty unique, and they're big, and they've got, these sort of complex puzzle aspects to them that are fun if you like puzzles.
Yeah.
And also because at the end of the day, I can go trespass on a farmer's field and see the wind turbine that I helped build. There's something sort of tangible
Yeah.
that results from all the work. It's not just pushing paper.
I love that. Thanks so much. Thanks, Ben Huffman from Sheppard Mullin, for joining us. Appreciate it.